Eliza framework was built by the AI16C team. You might have already heard of what Eliza is. It's this lightweight AI agent framework that allows you to easily spin up your own AI agents really quickly. Just to give you some context, I built this AVAIL AI agent wherein it acts as a faucet for anyone who wants to have some testnet funds to build on AVAIL. The primary bottleneck could be getting access to some AVAIL tokens, and what I built here was that you can just directly tag the AVAIL AI agent and ask it to send you some funds, and it will do so. It will send you those funds to your wallet, to whichever wallet that you specify. The other thing that it can also do is it can submit data to AVAIL. How do you do this with the Eliza framework? And I can show you a quick demo on how this would work with the AVAIL AI agent. So if I actually say, hey, send me AVAIL AI agent, submit the data, everything is awesome, right? To AVAIL, I am gonna send that tweet. It has picked it up and it's processing it, and it starts that process. It gets the transaction fees as well, because I've asked it to get that. So you'll see that this is the amount of AVAIL it is going to cost, and that's fine. We see that the transaction has happened. Let's go back to Twitter and see what has happened here. Let's data submitted to AVAIL. Everything is awesome. Check. So let's check the submit data. Yeah, great. So as you can see, it has also submitted the data. Everything is awesome to the AVAIL network. Yeah, as you can see. So I'm asking the AVAIL AI agent to send me around 3 AVAIL to this particular address, and I'm going to post that. And let's see. So I've asked this agent to send me some tokens. If you look in the behind the scenes, you can see that it has logged my request. It has understood that I'm asking it to send some AVAIL. It has started this send token handler, and it has started this process of sending me some AVAIL. So you can see that before the transfer call, I have around like 4.8 AVAIL on my address, and now the transaction has been broadcasted. It is in a block right now. If I want, I can actually copy this, go to my AVAIL subscan, and also search it. You can see that obviously it will take some time to finalize, but the transaction has actually gone and it has happened, and you can see that over here you have the transaction, right? You have this transaction with the value of 3 AVAIL. And yeah, I mean, it kind of works. You've got the balance. You can see that before it was 4.8, it will be 7.8 now because I got 3 AVAIL from my address here, right? 1 minute ago we got this transaction for about 3 AVAIL. So I mean, this is pretty cool, and you can also see from the logs from an agent that there is we've got 7.8 AVAIL after the transfer. So yeah, so this is how you can use the AVAIL AI agent to get testnet funds on the Turing testnet to help with your development. So let's actually dive into how this actually works. I've already git cloned the Eliza framework. I've git cloned the Eliza framework. The first thing you would want to probably do is you want to set your environment variables here. Setting the environment variables, like suppose if you want to run a Twitter bot, you'll need to give it to the username, a password, an email, some cookies, etc. We have a bunch of configurations here as well, which I've added to the env. Is basically you can give an AVAIL address, AVAIL seed phrase, the app ID, and we've got an RPC URL which is in default. It is pointed to Turing, the testnet, but you can add the mainnet as well. So first, let's go through how our packages look like. So how the AVAIL plugin looks like and how it works, and then we'll do a demo. We'll show you a character config on how to import it. There's an AVAIL plugin here, and you can see there's a bunch of things here, right? So first thing you can notice is that we've got a README. So you can always look into how this thing works. At the README, there's a bunch of resources on how to create an AVAIL account, like how to get a seed phrase, how to get the app ID, all of that stuff. And there is also a detailed testing steps for transferring AVAIL or submitting data to AVAIL and how it would work exactly, right? So it's all documented here. Feel free to look at that as well. Let's see how a character is made. Essentially, you can import Eliza. They already have a default character which you can use as your base sometimes. Again, you can create it completely from scratch. In my case, I've just used the default character and added some extra context to it. We're basically importing all of the characteristics of the default character, but we're now overriding it with our client being client Twitter, model provider being I'm using Kainet for my model, and then we give it a name. We then put in the AVAIL plugin. So the AVAIL plugin, if you remember, and I can show you here as well. So if you go to the AVAIL plugin here in the index.ts, we are exporting it as this AVAIL plugin. So we call that same AVAIL plugin over here as we import it here, right? And then once we import it, after we import it, we can now give some system prompts to it. We can give it a bio, we can give it some lore, we can give some message examples, we can give it some post examples, some topics you want it to cover. So again, in my case, the AVAIL agent will talk about crypto Twitter, layer 2s, rollups, etc. And I've then also given some extra knowledge about AVAIL, like I've inputted some of the docs, the blogs, etc. And all of that is being configured here. And with that, we just have to first build our agent. Once the build is done, we'll start our agent, and yeah, it should start really quickly. I've put the Twitter is going to be using is going to be a different Twitter, just so that I can show it as a demo. I've named it Control Freak, but I mean, it doesn't matter. You can give whatever Twitter ID you want. Here, are you an agent? Post. So I have sent a post calling Control Freak. So this is a new agent Twitter that I've made, but basically you can see that it is already starting to post about layer 2s, about AVAIL, about rollups, etc. Okay, so looks like it has found my tweet that I've mentioned it on. It's going to reply to my tweet, so I think it has replied already. So let's check what that reply is. As you can see here, hey, yeah, I'm doing great, and yes, I'm an agent, bit of a mysterious one, but I'll let you know a secret. I'm here to help you with all things AVAIL, because that's what I've prompted it to be. I've prompted it to be an AVAIL agent, but you can prompt it to be anything that you want, and let it do its thing. And yeah, it just keeps on running in the background. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, I want to create a plugin. Just look at some of the examples already out there in the wild and build something cool with it. With the AVAIL plugin, you can submit data, you can transfer AVAIL tokens, and that means you can do some cool stuff with the agents itself. That is, you can submit data, read from AVAIL, and yeah, I hope you dabble around with it and see what you can build. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I hoped it's of some educational value to you. Thank you. See you next time.